If you run a business, you already know that people are going to talk about you online. Most of the time, that's fine. But every once in a while, one thread pops up that changes everything. Maybe it's on a subreddit you've never even heard of, and maybe it's been sitting there for 2 years, but somehow it's the very first thing that shows up when someone searches your brand name. Today, we're going to break down exactly why that happens, and more importantly, what you can actually do about it. Let's start with a quick explanation just so we're all on the same page. Reddit is organized into communities called subreddits. You'll recognize them by the letters r slash followed by a topic. So r slash cars is for people who love talking about cars. R slash music is for music fans, and so on. Every subreddit has its own culture, its own rules, and its own moderators running the show. Inside these subreddits, you'll find threads. A thread is simply a post that someone created, plus every comment and reply that followed. Think of it as a conversation that starts with one person and grows from there. Some threads get a few replies and quietly disappear, others catch fire. People upvote them, comment on them, and share them, and that engagement is exactly what pushes a thread higher and higher, both on Reddit and unfortunately on Google. And that's really the heart of the problem. Reddit carries what's called domain authority. In plain terms, Google trusts Reddit a lot, so its pages tend to rank fast and rank high. That's great news if the content is positive. It's a nightmare if it's not. A single thread with a title like, "Is this brand a scam?" or "My honest warning about this company" can land on page one of Google within days. And once it's there, it's often the very first impression a potential client, customer, or partner gets of you before they've spoken to you, before they've seen your work, before they know anything true about your business at all. So, what actually happens when a thread like that shows up? For a business owner, a coach, a consultant, or anyone with a public reputation, the damage isn't abstract. It shapes trust. It shapes whether someone books a call with you or scrolls right past your name. And here's the frustrating part: you can't just ask Reddit nicely and expect it to disappear. Reddit doesn't work like that. There's no single button, no one size fits all process. Removing content from Reddit depends entirely on which door you're knocking on. And there are actually four different pathways that can lead to a post coming down, and understanding them helps explain why this takes real strategy, not guesswork. The first is automated filters. Reddit runs systems in the background that scan for content violating platform policy. Sometimes a post gets flagged and pulled automatically without a single human ever reviewing it. The second pathway is subreddit moderators. Every community on Reddit is run by its own volunteer moderation team, and they have the final say over what stays up and what comes down inside their subreddit. They can remove posts, remove comments, and ban users, all based on their own community rules. The third is Reddit administrators. These are the people who operate above individual subreddits at the platform level. When a violation is serious enough, escalating straight to Reddit's admin team can get content removed site wide, not just in one community. And the fourth pathway is legal escalation. When a thread involves something like copyright infringement or impersonation, it can be escalated directly to Reddit's legal operations team with proper documentation, which can lead to permanent removal. Now, here's the thing: most people trying to deal with a damaging thread on their own don't know which of these four doors to knock on, let alone how to knock on it the right way. That's really where a dedicated process makes the difference. And so let's walk through how that process typically works from start to finish. It begins with a consultation. Before anything happens, there's a confidential conversation, usually by email or a video call, to fully understand the situation. What's the thread? Where is it? And what's actually being said? From there, once a strategy is agreed on, there's an onboarding step. A clear agreement gets put in place outlining exactly what's being done and what to expect. Then comes execution. This is where the real work happens, using the strategy that fits the specific case and leaning on established relationships across Reddit's moderation and admin channels to get things moving. And after a piece of content is removed from Reddit itself, there's one more critical step: de-indexing it from Google. This matters more than people realize. Even after a post is gone from Reddit, A cached version can still show up in search results for a while. Making sure it's fully removed from Google's index is what actually stops it from resurfacing. And finally, there's confirmation. Once removal and deindexing are both verified, that's when the work is considered done and that's when payment happens, not before. That last point is worth repeating because it matters. This isn't a pay up front and hope for the best situation. The work gets done first, you see the results. The thread that used to show up when someone searched your name shows something completely different, often just a simple notice that the post was removed by the moderators. Only then does payment come in. If you're a business owner, an entrepreneur, a consultant, or anyone whose name and reputation are directly tied to how people find you online, this isn't something to ignore. A single old thread buried in a subreddit you've probably never visited can quietly shape how the world sees you before they ever get the chance to see you for yourself. The good news is it doesn't have to stay that way. If there's a thread out there that's been sitting in the back of your mind, now you know there's an actual path to dealing with it, one built on the right channels, the right strategy, and results you can verify before you ever pay a dime. For more videos on protecting and cleaning up your online reputation, from review platforms to other media removal services, come find us on our YouTube channel, Media Removal. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.